Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Hope you are having a great day. Am I the idiot for telling my sister she's stupid and ruining our dad's life? I, 23 male, have two younger siblings, Anna, 21 female, and Chloe, 19 female. We've always been close. Our parents split up when I was 9 and our mom became pretty much a deadbeat. I've seen her maybe 5 times in the last 10 years. So my dad, 50 male, raised us, and it's pretty much always been us and him. Even after he started dating Fiona, 44 female, when I was 15, our dynamic stayed mostly the same and there were pretty much no issues aside from some adjusting. Chloe recently moved out after living at home for her first year at college, and a few months later, my dad announced that he and Fiona were engaged and going to get married. In my opinion, everyone expected this would happen since they were together so long, but Anna was very upset. She's been complaining to everyone about it for weeks, but mostly me. She says it's like he was just waiting for us all to grow up and get out of the house so that he could move in his new woman and be a family with her instead. She also doesn't like that there's an almost 7-year age gap between them, because he and our mom were high school sweethearts. And our mom was actually a few months older, so she feels like our dad is replacing her with a younger model. Side note, she's never liked Fiona because she was still hoping my parents would get back together when he and Fiona started dating. Mom was less of a deadbeat then. Anna also thinks there isn't much passion between them, because every time she was over at our place, they barely touched and just treated each other like polite acquaintances since we were kids. She also doesn't see why he has to move her in before they're even married because Fiona is financially well off and doesn't need the stability. She wants to be able to spend this summer with just our dad and us, without anyone else moving in yet. She told me the other day that she's planning on trying to set him up with one of her friends' single mom instead, who she feels is much more age appropriate and likable than Fiona and whom she thinks he'd have more chemistry with. She's planning on telling him this weekend and wants me to back her up. I just lost my patience and told her to leave me out of this and that she's ruining his life by trying to set him up on some blind date, as if he's a child. She started crying and told me all she wants is what's best for him because Fiona's the wrong woman and he's making a mistake. But I said I don't see how this would help when he's already engaged and that she's being stupid. She called me an a-hole for being so harsh and hasn't talked to me since then. I admit part of me is also bummed that we won't have as much of my dad's time anymore and that things are about to change dramatically. So I wonder if I should have been more validating or supportive of Anna, but I just don't think our dad did anything wrong or that talking him out of this will do any good. Am I the idiot? Edit. The main reason I'm second guessing myself is because I too would love another summer with just our dad. But I have my own place now, so it's not like I have nowhere to go if things get unbearable with Fiona here. I don't think they will. She's always let us kids do our own thing, so it's not that big a deal to me. I also do see where Anna's coming from about him and Fiona not being very romantic in front of us. Our parents were much more touchy-feely. I don't know if this means she's the wrong woman or not, but to be honest, since my dad doesn't seem to care, I don't either. I don't see her as another parent or anything, but we've personally never had a problem with each other. And I don't think Chloe does either. I do agree my dad deserves to whatever he wants to be happy at this point. In my opinion, OP is not the idiot. His sister was going to do something really bad, even if it didn't come to anything and their father took it lightly. His fiancé probably wouldn't do the same, besides the embarrassment that the other woman would feel. Also, it seems like there's a lot more under the surface. OP's father and fiancé have been together for years. Marriage seems like the natural step. I understand the sister feeling a little weird that they only decided to get engaged after all his kids left home. She might wonder if they did it because the fiancé doesn't like them or if she was just putting up with them because of their father, but it could also have been their dad's choice. So the kids wouldn't feel like their space was being invaded and they would have to treat her like a motherly figure. I don't know, but before OP's sister tried to end a relationship of years, she should have talked to her dad at first, as it could end very badly for her. Not the idiot. Also, 7 years is not a big age difference when the couple is mid-40s/50s. It's not like the new woman is 25. She was 34 when my dad was 41 and they were a bit younger than that when they first met, but yeah, I totally get what you are saying. First, you are both old enough to respect your father and his choice on who he wants to be with. Second, maybe Fiona and Dad aren't touchy-feely in front of you all out of respect. I would think you both would be devastated if he got back with Bio Mom after her deadbeat ways. You want him with someone like that for the rest of his life? Regardless if they were high school sweethearts, she ended up not so sweet to him or her children. You all need to understand that you have your whole lives in front of you. Let Dad decide what he wants for the rest of his. Tell your sister to back off with the blind date, or she might find herself on his shit list. Would she like him to do that to her? I don't think so. Good luck. No, you're right, I definitely don't ever want him to get back with our mom. To be honest, I'd much rather have a relationship with Fiona over her at this point. I know my dad will be really hurt when he finds out about this blind date, so I don't know if I should warn him beforehand or not. I just feel guilty all around now, for keeping it a secret or potentially telling him before Anna brings it up. I try to talk her out of it, but she still isn't talking to me. Not the idiot, Anna needs to move on from this or get therapy. It's not her place to try to be a matchmaker for your father, even if she doesn't like her. Your father is an adult who doesn't need someone to ruin his relationship just because they don't like her. My dad did put us in therapy when our parents first split up, and then again when my mom became much worse in her absentee ways, so I'm not sure how much more needs to happen for her to just let this thing with my dad go. Not the idiot. Furthermore, it should be asked if the sister's okay, if Dad decided to arrange marriage for her or control her love life, and if the answer is no, then sis needs to back off and stop being a control freak. The dad sounds like he's literally put his entire life on hold, which he didn't have to in order to focus on being a father for his children, and now he wants to focus on himself, and totally deserves it. Are you enjoying the video so far? If so, don't forget to leave a like. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to know when there's a new video. Update: am I the idiot for telling my sister she's stupid and ruining our dad's life? Thanks to everyone who shared all the advice. A lot's gone down, so I thought I should update. I tried talking to Anna once more about not doing this blind date thing, but she refused. So as folks suggested, I went and told my dad I had to warn him about something. Here's where I maybe messed up a bit. Fiona was there and maybe I should have said it privately, but there was no time. He asked what was wrong and I just couldn't get the words out, so I said it's about the engagement, and that it was best he heard it from Anna. Well, of course he went to her room to get her. We all sat in the living room. Chloe was already watching TV there, and after some coaxing from him, she just exploded and started crying. It wasn't fair, things were happening too fast. He just decided to get engaged without even consulting us, and we were just supposed to go along with it like we're still children. She said we never consented to our mom leaving us and had no say in them getting back together, so that we should have at least had a say in who he started dating next. Please note this isn't what I personally feel. Anyway, my dad just looks shell-shocked. Seeing his face made me feel god-awful. He looked silently at Fiona. She suddenly burst into tears. This scared me because I've never seen her cry. My dad's rarely weepy, and I've even seen him cry more. Dad held her hand, and she just kept sobbing. I told you, I told you. I felt worse. One nice thing was Chloe got emotional to see this, so she actually went over and gave Fiona a hug. I felt like doing it too, but thought it'd be weird. My dad hugged Anna and said he was sorry he never realized how she felt. He said it's too late to set him up with anyone. I managed to have Anna add this. If he was going to be with anyone, it would be Fiona, but if this engagement was really hurting her, the two of them would talk about whether it can be postponed. He did say it's a done deal. She's moving in this summer though, since she already ended her lease and made arrangements. Long story short, he arranged family therapy. Fiona actually suggested it and said she was willing to participate if it would help. I don't think I need therapy, but I think I'm going to do it just to help. Chloe agreed, and Anna hasn't said anything since this happened, but I think that's a sign she's accepted it. Things were okay for the rest of the evening, thank God no blind date. Dad asked if I was okay, and thanked me for doing this. He said he was proud of me. I teared up. He and Fiona sat on the porch for the rest of the night with his arm around her. I'm honestly relieved. Things have been calm since then. Anna's still quiet, but at least she's not avoiding us or objected to therapy. The first one starts early July and he's booked it for just us four for now. Thanks for all the support, everyone. I'm really hopeful things will get better from now on. Edit. While it's true my dad never asked us for permission to date Fiona, I remember him saying many times that he was starting a relationship, and that his biggest hope was for us to be okay with it, and if not, he'd do whatever it took to help us get there. We weren't necessarily thrilled, but I know none of us had objected, though maybe Anna just didn't think it would stick, I don't know. I also don't think they should have to postpone the marriage, but if that's what everyone sees fit to do, I won't object. Edit 2, just want to clarify, my dad and Fiona are still engaged, no one's called off or postponed the marriage yet, which I'm glad about. Postponing was just something my dad suggested in order to take more time to help Anna if it was needed, but they're definitely still getting married and he made it clear he'd never marry anyone but her. I did make it clear during the whole confrontation that these were just Anna's thoughts and I don't share them. Hey, kiddo, you did a great job and I'm sure that was hard as hell. If you want to add a little private happy for Dad and Fiona, and actually feel this way, why not privately tell them that you think they are great together or the like? I bet it would ease both of their minds with the moving coming up. But only if you feel that way, okay? Thanks very much for saying this. Dealing with it has been really overwhelming, especially since I didn't want to get involved with her dumb scheme in the first place, and am trying to be fair to everyone. I love my dad and don't want him to lose Fiona because of this. Wow, I feel horrible for Fiona. While it's true my dad never asked us for permission to date Fiona, no permission was ever needed. Your father gets to have a life, they have postponed it for the three of you, and it is a major a-hole move to hurt them the way your sister did. Your sister is an adult, and should recognize another adult has the right to find a companion for life. Your dad and Fiona were never overly affectionate to protect the three of you. Please sit Anna down and tell them straight up they should have absolutely zero say in who your dad dates. Then go to Fiona and let them know that you are happy for the two of them and will support them. Fiona is the one that was crushed here, and your sister was horrible to unload in them. I agree it wasn't needed. I'm just trying to defend my dad about her saying he never asked us because it implied he didn't care. He did care and told us early on and said he'd help us accept it, so that was enough for me, and I think it should have been for her. And I do want to tell Fiona that, I just can't figure out the right words, but hopefully therapy can help me come up with it. The fact that you're somewhat sympathetic to Anna, trying to control your father's relationship with a woman who has been 8 years in your lives means that you definitely should go to that therapy as well. If she was acting up like this a year after the divorce, it would be kind of typical. But as an adult 15 years later with a woman your father has been with for half that time is just insane. The age gap thing just nonsense to excuse her controlling behavior. Your father and his fiancée has already given you much more consideration and birth than necessary. Your resentment is incredibly egocentric. I'm sympathetic because she's my younger sister and in pain, not because she's causing problems for my dad and his fiancé. I can feel bad for her and still not support what she's doing or feeling. I'm also at a loss for how you've assumed I feel any resentment towards them. I've never begrudged my dad his right to be happy with whoever he wants, and I've never disliked Fiona at all. This whole situation's left me drained and feeling like it would have been better if I'd never gone home this summer, but now that I'm here I'm just doing what I can to fix this. Final update, am I the idiot for telling my sister she's stupid and ruining our dad's life? Hopefully the last update. Once again, lots has gone down. I want to first say thank you again to everyone who sent support. Trying to deal with all this when I wanted no part in my sister's schemes has been exhausting. So, we had the therapy, 2 sessions so far. All 4 of us went, but as everyone expected, the therapist quickly figured that Anna had deep-seated issues and needed individual therapy too. So we've rearranged for family therapy to be bi-weekly while Anna will go weekly. She's still been quiet, outside of the sessions, but has cooperated. She cried some more talking about our mom and mentioned feeling betrayed that Chloe and I seem to get over it so easily. Side note. That's not true, I can't speak for Chloe, but I grieved over our mom's abandonment too. I just dealt with it differently. I internalized a lot and I felt mostly angry at her, not yearning for her back. The therapy we had as kids helped me cope a lot. Though she's committed to continuing therapy, Anna went back to her place. I think it's for the best right now. We had a heart-to-heart before she left, and I told her that while I know she's still mad at me, I still love her and will always be there for her. She seemed to appreciate that. I can tell our relationship won't be the same, which sucks a bit because I've looked out for my sisters since our mom walked out on us. But I know I did the right thing in telling her she was wrong with what she was doing to our dad and Fiona. Fiona's mostly all moved in, and to be honest, it's been nice overall. Some comments were misunderstanding my stance on her, so I want to reiterate, I've never had a problem with Fiona. The reason I seemed indifferent before is because I was already 15 to 16 when I first met her and moved out only 2.5 years later. We didn't really bond then because she was very hands-off, which I was okay with. Back then, while I was 100% okay with my dad dating, I wasn't in the headspace to see any partner of his as a familiar figure because of my mom's toxicity at the time. I was very introverted and only secure with my dad and siblings, but that was a long time ago and it's different now. She and Chloe started going shopping and getting their nails done, which is cute. I make omelets for breakfast and she praises them to the skies. And yes, we had that hug. It was when I was helping her with some of her boxes outside the house and I just blurted out that I'm grateful she's still staying by my dad and they deserve to be happy together. She was the one who got teary-eyed and pulled me into a hug and said she was grateful to me for going to bat for my dad and her. I'll admit I got a bit emotional too. I know it's totally fine, I'll never see her as a parent, but in that moment for some reason, I felt the protective instinct I usually do with my sisters. I don't know if that's normal or not, but it felt right. I'm going back to my place in a few days, too. Not because anything's wrong, but I want my dad and Fiona to have their space. Chloe will still be home for the summer, but at least it'll be less crowded with just her. Thanks to everyone who sent good wishes to me and my family. Hope there'll be no need for more updates. I want to add, some people thought we were all girls, I'm a guy. Edit 1. Some folks couldn't understand why my dad seemed so sensitive to Anna's feelings and were outraged that I even still care about her. I mean, she's still my sister at the end of the day and it's not like I can just turn it off. So hopefully this comment helps explain that. Edit 2. Others were confused why I wanted a summer with my dad or seemed to think it was weird. We've always gone home for most or all of the summer during college. I work, but graduated recently, so that's normal to us. I hadn't planned to hog my dad all summer. Thing is, I had a pretty rough breakup recently with my girlfriend of 4 years. There's no bad blood, but it had me a bit depressed and my dad was really supportive and helpful, so more of that would have been nice. I wasn't comfortable yet discussing that private stuff with Fiona there. But I in no way needed to move on and am more than happy and able to overcome it without him so he can chill with Fiona. This is the comment OP was referring to. As much as I completely understand where Anna is coming from and why she has had this built-up resentment, from all the unacknowledged trauma from your mother abandoning you all and coming and going without being consistent, I can't help but feel really bad for Fiona. To be 8 years into a serious relationship in your 40s. A relationship where you've already had to move so slowly in progressing it, more slowly than people at that age normally would. Even with kids, because your boyfriend was being so mindful of making sure his kids felt secure and accommodated. Which is important and I'm sure Fiona completely understands and didn't mind that, and qualities like this is probably a massive part of why she loves your dad. But to finally be in a position to take those natural long overdue next steps of living together and getting engaged, only to have to slow your relationship right back down again to the point of pausing your engagement, to accommodate your partner's 21 years old daughter, who's already moved out for college and doesn't live with your boyfriend anymore because after 8 years she still feels uncomfortable, and like the relationship is rushed, is asking a lot from Fiona when she's already been so patient and accommodating of you all. And on top of this, to find out this young woman you've known since she was 13 hates you so much she was going to set your fiancé up on a date with another woman to try and ruin your engagement. And the only reason your fiancé/boyfriend isn't slowing down you moving in to make Anna comfortable is because he can't, as you've already ended your lease. Your dad is at a very serious risk of losing Fiona over this. She has gone above and beyond for him and you all for almost a decade. Pausing her engagement for a 21 years old was an incredibly gracious thing for her to do. I hope family therapy is able to help Anna and everyone else understand that as you're all adults and have moved out and have started to move on with your lives, your dad is allowed to do the same and marry Fiona without having to ask permission from his adult children. That he's not leaving you all behind, his life is evolving as all your lives are evolving too since you all moved out. And you will all still get to have one-on-one time with your dad, you're all old enough to arrange that, and there is always a place for you in your dad's house, you'll just have Fiona there too from now on. I really appreciate your comment, and I just want to say that I do plan on showing Anna some of it. But I'm very sure my dad would have moved Fiona in regardless, even if there was another option. He made it really clear he loves her and will be with her no matter what. I have a feeling he explained it that way just for Anna's sake. Speaking of this, a lot of comments are asking why my dad is placating her so much, and I do agree that he absolutely should not have to, but I do have a theory why this is. Without giving away too much, Anna's been through a lot, more than me and Chloe. Stuff that's completely unrelated to my dad's relationship situation or my mom's abandonment. She had short-term trauma counseling some years back for it, I'm unsure how long it lasted, I'd already moved out. So maybe this explains why he's being so delicate with her feelings, not saying it's an excuse for her to act this way at all, and honestly probably why I've been trying to be mindful and see her side despite completely being on the same page as everyone who's saying she has no right to do this to my dad and Fiona. Major kudos to Fiona for being so lovely, for your dad for continually being so understanding, and good on Anna for getting some therapy. As somebody with dad issues, the fact that your dad is willing to sacrifice so much for you and your sisters is so beautiful, and the fact that Fiona honored that sacrifice shows what a truly dedicated partner she is to him. I'm really happy that things are getting better in your family. OP, healing isn't linear, and I'm sure there are times when you all struggle, but I'm really happy that things are going in a better direction than they were. Thank you. I really don't want him to sacrifice anymore, he's done more than enough for us. Chloe's still young so she still needs him more than we do, but she has a good head on her shoulders and pretty much agrees with me on all this. Fiona makes him happy and I honestly think it's a good thing we didn't try to have a relationship until now. I wouldn't have been open to it. She also isn't a fan of young kids, so I'm glad my dad didn't push her to bond with us back then either. Wow, I'm so glad all seems well. This surely means the absolute world to them, and I can't imagine how validated you've made Fiona feel. Hopefully this strengthens everyone's bonds. I've been liking Fiona more than I ever have since all this went down. I never disliked her. We just didn't really have a relationship before, so I feel like you may be right. Thank you. Your dad sounds like such a poppet. Boy is he a good role model, particularly compared with some of the dads who post on here for feedback. My kids are pissed off at me, am I the idiot types? Kudos to you too, you're clearly the guy your dad raised you to be. Yes, you can use that phrase of yourself if the occasion arises, can attest it may reduce your parent to tears. Basically you're all good guys, poor Anna too, I hope it all works out for you. Yeah, he really stepped up big time after our mom's abandonment. I see him as a role model for most things. And unfortunately couldn't see that Anna's love for him was turning into such possessiveness since he was all we had as kids. And thanks a lot for the compliment, I have a long way to go, but it means a lot that I'm doing right by him. These are today's stories guys. I hope you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications for more stories. Until next time.